So I feel like I'm still trying to find my way. It's kind of hard. And hearing all these people, starting their own businesses, they're like, oh yeah, I just started styling for these people and I just started writing for this and I started my own blog. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just write in my notes app. Like, I don't know what to do.
My name is Shruti Natanmai. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and my major is advertising and marketing communications.
My name is Isabella Rodriguez. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and my major is fashion business management.
Hi, my name is Lonnie Brown. My pronouns are she, they, and my major is AMC, advertising, marketing, and communications.
Hi, my name is Juliana, pronouns she, her, and my major is fashion design and knitwear concentration.
I feel like in the new semester that was coming, in the spring semester, I was like, okay, well, I kind of, got in the vibe with school. I know how to do this and do that. And I'm gonna, have a little bit more fun, make some more friends, have some new experiences. And I feel like just as I was starting to do that is when I feel like everybody was having the best time of their lives. Like before everything happened, like I'm listening to I'll hear stories and it's like, oh, I was about to do this and that, and then everything happened. But
I remember walking back with a girl or a couple of people from my class and just being like, oh, so we're not coming back tomorrow. When I went back to Kaufman, there were already people moving their stuff out, it happened very fast, I think, and I didn't really process any of it.
I was in my apartment in New York at first. I started out the semester there. And then when things got really bad and Trudeau was like, all Canadians come home now. So I headed home. My parents came down to pick me up. They had their masks. I was in the back of the van, and just packed everything up, headed home. And I didn't expect to stay home for so long. But I spent pretty much like 5 months back in Canada.
I feel like I definitely missed out on the community of FIT and just being in a city and also just being in FIT, being surrounded by people who are so like-minded and that you can share ideas with and people that you can just learn from and network with and just be friends with from standing in line waiting for a burger at the cafeteria, because we all know that takes like 20 minutes.
A day in the life of Shruti would probably look like me waking up to several alarms set at 5-minute increments because I'm incapable of waking up.
I would make my coffee. I would come to my room, do some yoga, stretch, do some little bit of meditation.
Every now and again, you get cute for class, like for a presentation and stuff like that. But if I'm being brutally honest, like it's just rolling out of bed and logging into class and doing whatever I can to stay focused.
Yeah, after classes are over, just doing like homework, whatever work I need to do, taking a walk outside, doing any errands, stuff like that.
This is the baby. Come on, honey. Let's keep walking. Please, stop sniffing.
I found myself reverting back to some of the interests that I had when I was like 13, 14, which I used to read a lot.
Midnight Sun. So this is Twilight in Edward Cullen's perspective, which should be interesting to say the least because my good sir has a lot of explaining to do.
Over the summer, like I said, that's kind of when I found myself. I created my little safe space in my room and just have fun with that. I started painting again. I have like a little mural on the side of my wall with like a bunch of paintings that I did.
I've been doing a lot more sewing and painting and drawing and a few other things that I've just been doing on and off. So I've definitely been tapping into my more creative side. Being a college student at home is very interesting. I think personally because I'm definitely more of a hands-on learner. I tend to get distracted easily. So it was kind of hard at first for me to focus on the teachers because you could easily not have your camera on and do something completely different in a different room.
Yeah, it was a bit difficult at first for sure because my major, we're so reliant on the school facilities and the knitting machines and stuff, and they're pretty expensive compared to sewing machines. So for us, we unfortunately still don't have access to those labs.
As a fashion design major working at home, there are a bunch of machines that you're going to have to buy in order to complete your work to industry standards. So I have this machine which I use to work on, and then I also have a dress form over there, which is also a pant form, and then I have a whole bucket full of yarns that I brought home to use, as well as my mood boards over here.
When I was at home all the time, I just kind of, that barrier between schoolwork and then like doing things that I like kind of blurred. It would be like 3 a.m. and I would still I would have been on my laptop all day.
There's always like good food being cooked or somebody doing something exciting, so I get distracted by that stuff. So I think that is a big thing that you should keep in mind when you're studying at home, to try to like create some boundary, I guess.
The way I like to stay organized while working from home is by writing my daily to-do list in a paper agenda or planner, as well as by using a digital calendar for big deadlines and other meetings and appointments. I think it's also best to have a designated workspace when you're working from home so that you feel a bit more ready to work once you sit down, and just avoid distractions that way. And then you can also kind of mentally separate work from play/relaxation.
I think that something that was really nice is whenever I had finals, my parents were really understanding that, I had a lot of work to do and I really had to minimize the distractions and couldn't help out like around the house as much. So they would usually bring me food like on a tray, which was really nice of them.
Guys, look how big this bowl is. I didn't know they were making pho.
And I noticed that when I did assignments, it took like a weight off my shoulders. I was like, wow, I feel great. So just for myself, just to keep from it feeling like there's rocks on my shoulders, like, okay, let me do this and get it over with. And also, my parents are really supportive and supporting me in my education, so I wouldn't want to waste that. The FIT is a pretty competitive school, and I was like, there are people who really would want to be in my position and I know wouldn't take advantage of it.
I really wanted to take advantage of the professors in a sense that they would get to know who I am as a person, and I'd really just get to meet them on a personal level and ask them questions about the industry and just really get to know them. Some professors really did, actually I have to say all of my professors did so well teaching online. I couldn't have asked for like a better first semester. I really couldn't have. Of course, I didn't really get to meet any new friends, but it's hard because not everyone has their camera on and you just can't really talk to students like you would in a class. Like I'm sure you would have like 15 minutes before class started to talk to someone next to you or behind you, and you don't really get that on Zoom.
The biggest challenge is in the beginning, especially as a freshman for me, was making friends. I remember like the first week, orientation week, they were having like a block party downstairs and I'm up in my room and I'm like crying. I was like, I have no friends. And I was like, and then my mom called me and she's like, oh, how's the block party? I was like, it's been good, Mom.
I totally understand that in an online environment, building those relationships and connections can feel daunting and a little bit difficult and sometimes impossible, but I promise you they are not. There's Black Student Union and the theater club at FIT, and there's so many other clubs I've been seeing on Instagram and I've been getting emails from, so it's clear that nobody just stopped. So I'm the senior beauty editor for Blush magazine. So we worked on a digital publication. It hasn't been released yet, but we were working on that all through this semester. So that was a very interesting experience as well, trying to coordinate the production of an entire magazine virtually. I was talking about this with people on the executive team at Blush, and we were just like, if anything, this has just forced us to be a bit more creative with our approach.
Especially with film club, it was the first club that I joined. Like when I went there, I was like, oh, like this is cool. And I just started, getting to know people in the club and going there more often and doing things outside of the club with different people. And I was like, oh, like this is fun. Like this is family. And I feel like I really found a sense of community in film club.
But I was able to join one club, the Ethics and Sustainability Club. That is what kind of inspired me to join an environmental organization. And that's what kind of pushed me to go down a different career path. I think I want to go down towards more like the ethics and sustainability part of fashion. Because I joined that club, like it really just opened my eyes to what I think I really want to do in the future.
So I would recommend kind of reaching out, like asking a lot of questions, I feel like helps, because for me, like whenever I see someone who asks like a lot of questions and participates a lot in class, it just makes them feel like more like a real person to me. So I try to like reach out to people like that.
Although I feel like I'm really missing out because I'm not in the city. I have people on Instagram that are going out and they're dorming together and they have their own apartments together and they're having fun and all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm at home. but I really also learned the importance of family. And now I'm like, I don't ever want to leave my home because I love my family, and one day I am, and that's okay. There's a time for everything. So I guess I just learned to just take it day by day, live in the moment, and the future will get here. There's really no rush for it at all. I have a load of advice to give. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't want to sound so positive because trust me, I had bad days. Everybody has bad days. But I have to say that college is going to be like the most stressful point of your life. Like, I'm sure you can account for it. Anybody can account for it. But I'm just taking it day by day, not stressing. I feel like, every day you experience different things. And I guess just appreciating that will just make you a happier person. I mean, that's the goal, right? Just to be happy.
I think trying to make the best of the years that you have is important, and safely, of course, in this COVID situation.
It's a little bit intimidating at first, but I feel like once you just understand that, not everything comes so quick for people. And if you really want to do something that you enjoy and that you love, it's going to take you a few minutes to figure it out. And so I've just been kind of taking it slow. I know that I do have a timeline that, would be great to figure out something by, but you just kind of gotta just chill out. It's serious, but why rush into things or throw yourself into something you might not love when you do have the chance to sort of figure it out.
Going to FIT, you're surrounded by a lot of people who know exactly what they want to do. They come to FIT for a reason, and my advice would be not to get caught up on this end goal, and don't be afraid to explore and try things that maybe stray from this path that you've created for yourself or this end result that you're striving for.